I'm going to go over the best 3-step plan to quickly increase your ceramic coating sales in the next 30 days. And this is without having to waste hours every day talking to unqualified leads or people who can't even afford your services. Now, this is going to be the exact process that I use in my own ceramic coating business and that I've used for nearly 100 other coating shops around the country to quickly increase sales. If you own a detailing business of any kind, ceramic coatings are probably your favorite service, and for good reason. They're much higher profit than standard details, and it's a lot easier to do one $1,500 ceramic coating than it is to do 5 $300 details. And honestly, once you've done a few coatings, they honestly aren't that difficult. But what is difficult for many shop owners is actually getting a consistent stream of customers to pay $1, $2, sometimes even upwards of $3,000 for a ceramic coating. So in this video, I'm going to walk through exactly what you need to do in order to consistently bring those high ticket jobs week after week, month after month. And this is a system you can implement immediately and see an increase in sales within the next 30 days. So the first part of this system is going to be about getting quality leads. Now, I know this is going to sound cliche or basic, but honestly, you cannot do anything in your business without a consistent source of quality leads. Leads are like the lifeblood of your business. Without them, you can't make sales, and without sales, you don't drive revenue. So you need a way to consistently get leads, but how do you actually do it? Well, there's going to be two main ways that you can scalably, predictably, and consistently get leads. The two big ways are Facebook ads and Google ads. Now, they've both got their benefits, and they're both good for different purposes. Typically, Facebook is going to get you lower cost per lead, more opportunities to sell more leads, but lower intent on average per lead. Google ads are going to be a lot higher cost per lead, a little longer to optimize your Google ads, but the leads are going to be a lot higher quality. So if we're just starting out and we quickly want to sprint almost to scale the business, get 5, 10 extra coatings this month in the next 30 days, Facebook is going to be the way to go, because if you do them right, you don't need any optimization at all. It's just about closing the leads once they come in. So Facebook ads is where I would start. Now, there's two big things that you need to make sure you're doing if you want to run Facebook ads for a high ticket service. Number one is that you need to make sure you're calling out the right audience. So that means you can't advertise a bunch of discounts. You can't go super in depth into specific features, that type of thing. What you need to do is have your ads centered around the benefits. So what's the value that you're bringing? And then also like more around the outcome rather than the features. So the high paying customers aren't going to care about all the little things that you do. They're not going to care about discounts. What they are going to care about is the outcome that you get them, the benefits, and the value behind your service. So center your ads around that. You're going to have a massive shift, maybe a bit of an increase in cost per lead, but a massive shift in lead quality and overall conversion rate, which means you're going to make more money. Now, the other thing that you can do in your Facebook ads is add conditional logic in your form. And that's just a fancy way of saying add qualifying questions so that bad leads don't make it through. For example, you could add a question in about when do they want it done? And if they don't want it done in the next 4 weeks, the next 30 days, just disqualify them and don't even let their info come through. That way, again, you're not wasting your time at talking to tire kickers. So you can also add in a question about budget in the form. I would start out with just time frame and change your messaging to make it proper, and then see where you need to go from there. That's part one. Basically, to wrap that up into a short little 10-second summary, Facebook ads to start with, Google as you expand. When you're running your Facebook ads, call it the right audience with your messaging, with your creatives, and add logic in the form to prevent getting tire kickers. Now, part two is going to be nurturing leads. Even with our changed messaging and our increased friction in the form or increased difficulty for a tire kicker to make it through, we are still going to get price shoppers and people who aren't really serious. So what we need to do is actually nurture those leads and get them to the point where they know, like, and trust us, to where even if they find a price slightly lower than us, they are going to move forward with our service. Super important to actually nurture your leads. And nurturing your leads just means sending them content, getting them familiar with you, building trust with them, case studies, and basically conversion flows. So a simple nurture system that you can implement is, as soon as the lead comes in, add them to what's called like a 30-day email flow, where every day for 30 days, once a day, you send them an email answering a common objection, showing a testimonial, a case study, or giving them just a direct offer to reach out and go ahead and get the work done. In addition to that, you want to have SMS or text conversion flows, to where you have automatic text going out, trying to get them on a call with you, trying to get them a quote, so that you can convert them. And also you want to be sending them constantly through both text and email back to your content and back to your social proof or your case studies. That's going to help a ton, especially when they see your content. If you've got long form content, YouTube videos, you're going to be able to nurture your leads extremely well there because they feel like they're spending time with you. So that's kind of a longer, more complicated explanation. Basically, what part 2, nurturing leads, is about is showing them your brand, building trust with them, making them feel like they've spent time with you by sending them to your content, by emailing them directly in their inbox. Email is more of a personal mechanism of communication, and by constantly staying in the loop with them, sending them texts, making sure that you're always top of mind. Doing all of that, you're going to build trust. You're going to make it more likely that they do convert down the line. Because one thing I will say is that while a lot of leads don't convert day one, a lot of them will convert 2, 3, 4 weeks in advance or down the line. And I've even seen as far as like 5, 6 months out, when you're properly emailing and you're continuing to send out communication to the lead, they will convert. So once you've got all that wrapped up, you have your 30-day email flows, text and email conversion flows, and then content to point them back to, testimonials and case studies to point them back to. We're going to move on to part 3, which is actually closing up the lead. This is going to be the sales side of things. So you need to have a sales framework. The amount of shop owners that I see that don't have any structure in place when it comes to sales, all they do is hop on the phone, hey, it's going to be $2,000 for a ceramic coating, is insane. You cannot expect to close a high ticket service like a ceramic coating without a framework or a structure behind your sale. You need to build a rapport with the prospect. You need to conduct a discovery where you find out what they want. You need to build trust, or else you're not going to stand a chance at converting them. So how do you actually build trust, find out the prospect's pains, their goals, so that you can close those high ticket jobs? Well, what we like to use is a 10-step framework. So this is essentially going to be laid out like this. It's going to be intro, which is where you're obviously introducing yourself, introducing the lead, why you're calling, and then frame. So setting an agenda for the call, what you're going to go over, and then discovery. And this is going to be separated into 4 subcategories where you've got pain, alternatives, goal, and then why. So pain would be what are they trying to get away from? Alternatives is what are their other options? Goal is what dream outcome do they have? And why is why do they want that dream outcome? Once you've finished up discovery, you're going to move into part 4, which is going to be the label. So after you've wrapped up, or after you've finished discovery, you want to wrap up everything that you learned into one simple sentence. That's going to build massive trust with the prospect. And a quick example of this one could be, just to make sure I've got everything right here, currently you don't have a coating, your car doesn't have any protection on it, and you feel like it's going to get scratched up, you feel like it's going to get damaged. You've been looking at a couple other shops, but none of them feel like the right fit to you. And the goal for you is really just to protect the car for the long term, make sure it stays valuable, and you want to do that because you're going to be reselling the car in the next few years. Does that sound right? So that's off the cuff, quick example of what your label could potentially sound like. Now, once you finish labeling them, you've got a ton of trust and you want to go into the pre-pitch, which is essentially just saying, based on everything that we just covered, I definitely think that we can help you out. I think this is going to be a perfect fit for you. Then you can move into the actual pitch, which is more going to be about explaining the benefits or the next logistical steps than it is the specific features. They don't care about they don't care about the trip, they care about the destination. So explain the outcome, not how you're going to get there. Then you can move on to temp check, which is essentially just saying, after going through the pitch and all of the rest of the call, how are you feeling about us? Do you think this is something you want to move forward with if the price is right? Then you're going to go into objection handling before you drop the price if they aren't 100% confident on the temp check. It's way easier to handle objections before you get to the price than after. So once you've handled any objections they may have, worked through any limiting beliefs, you can drop the price. Then at that point, you should either have another tiny section of objection handling if you did something wrong in the first part of the call, or you should be able to move directly in for the close. And the close is just basically asking to go ahead, get on the schedule, and collect a deposit. Super simple. Basically, just have some type of structure, build out a framework that works for you, and use it because your sales will skyrocket. So the 3 steps to quickly increase your ceramic coating sales in the next 30 days are get quality leads, use Facebook ads, nurture those leads with email and text conversion flows, and then build out a sales framework to effectively convert the leads. Now, if you want my team to come into your business and install our entire acquisition funnel done for you, from paid ads all the way to sales systems, and then done with you content, partnerships, and outreach, book a call below, see what that'll look like, see how we can explode your business in 2025. And if you want a free guide on exactly how to structure your own Facebook ads and do this all yourself, then there is a free guide in the link in the description below. Click on that, and I will see you in the next video.